All right, the first story at the top of antiwar.com today. Netanyahu is very much attached to Greater Israel. So Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Tuesday that he considers himself to be on a historical and spiritual mission, and that he is very connected to the idea of Greater Israel, a vision for significant Israeli territorial expansion in the region. So in the modern political context, Greater Israel could just mean Israel taking complete control of Gaza and the West Bank and the Golan Heights. But for more ideological Zionists, including members of Netanyahu's government, especially Bezalel Smotrich, who has been outspoken about this, Greater Israel means Israeli expansion into Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, and even Saudi Arabia, parts of Saudi Arabia, based on a biblical interpretation. So Netanyahu made these comments to Israel's I-24 when the interviewer gifted him an amulet showing Greater Israel. And now, according to the Times of Israel, the amulet was not shown on camera, so we don't know what the boundaries of this particular Greater Israel were. A lot of the maps that you see are just show Israel and Gaza and the West Bank, as well as Jordan. Jordan's territory is Greater Israel, but some go beyond that, including the Sinai Desert and Egypt, and then parts of, as I said, Syria and Iraq and everything. But so anyway, he was gifted this amulet, and then the interviewer asked Netanyahu if he felt a connection to the vision of a Greater Israel, and he said, very much. That was his answer. And this picture that I put in here, this is a propaganda poster from the Irgun, which was a Zionist paramilitary group, a terrorist organization that carried out terrorist attacks against Palestinians and British authorities in the Mandatory Palestine as well. But this is a propaganda poster from them from 1931, and it says it labels this the land of Israel, and this is the borders of both Mandatory Palestine and the Emirate of Transjordan, which is, so it's basically Israel, the West Bank, Gaza, and Jordan. And that's the land that they wanted, that they claimed as the future Jewish state. So Netanyahu himself has previously displayed maps that show the West Bank and Gaza as part of Israel. And this is something he actually did in September 2023, just a few weeks before October 7th. He was given a speech at the UN, and he showed a map of Israel in the Middle East, and all of it, the West Bank and Gaza were included. And last year, actually it was in 2023, Smotrich, the Israeli finance minister, he stirred some controversy because he spoke at an event where the Greater Israel map was prominently displayed. And in this particular one, showed Israel and Jordan. And Jordan was not happy about that, of course. And in an interview that Smotrich did last year in a documentary, he said that Israel would take territory in Arab countries little by little, and pointed to all the surrounding countries. And he said that it is written that the future of Jerusalem is to expand to Damascus. And what have we seen happen in the past few years, especially since the regime change in Syria? Israel has taken more Syrian territory beyond the Golan Heights that it's occupied for decades, but has pushed further into Syria and southern Lebanon. They don't control much actual territory in southern Lebanon, but they have these 5 military outposts, and essentially we see these like ground incursions. So they have a presence in southern Lebanon beyond the border there. And we've seen Smotrich and other Israeli officials say that they should just take it. They should just take the territory in southern Lebanon, just take it over. And of course, they're pushing for the takeover, a complete takeover of Gaza and everything. So Netanyahu was also asked in this interview if he felt that he was on a mission for the Jewish people, and said that he was, quote, on a mission of generations. There are generations of Jews that dreamt of coming here, and generations of Jews who will come after us. So if you're asking if I have a sense of mission, historically and spiritually, the answer is yes, end quote. So very provocative thing for him to, essentially endorse the vision for Greater Israel, especially when it could mean taking so much more territory than Israel already has.